All right, hello everyone. So we're on a Wednesday. So today is the 26th. Now I've already put the lines up, as you can see. Now today's important hours was this 8:40, 8:55 here, this zone. Um, but this is a bit, well, this level, I put this level up before, as you know. So it's been like continuing all along to be something. Okay, you can see yesterday trading hours up, trading hours down, trading hours up, and then the market is down into this trading hour and kind of like hanging around here, and that's kind of it. So what to do? Let's first take a look at the daily, right, and the weekly. Let's take a look at the big time frames and see where we're at. Now on the weekly, we still have that 76. Remember the 3053? We already put that up there. So if we want to pursue that, we can. Okay, it's not a problem. If I take a look at this now, okay, you can see we're like in this bounced off mode. Monday was a swing day, and the market hasn't actually done anything lower. So that's fine. And yesterday, if you bought the dip on a Tuesday, that would have been fine if you bought the dip. Why? Because if Monday was a swing day and it's like a double bottom, and now we're kind of like, going up at the swing hours. So it's like logical. It's exactly like what we've learned in technical analysis. So there's no dramas there. So now what? Well, this thing is going sideways still. As you can see, it's only done a stop sweep. It hasn't really done a breakout. And we are in the middle of levels, right? What does that mean? It means, well, this is a support, this is a support, that's a resistance, and we're in between levels. The only place where we can really buy is if it dips down again here, because they sold here. So you don't want to buy where they sold here. And on the daily, let's take a look at the daily to see where we can be at. On the daily, it's still a bit indecisive, right, at the end of the day, okay? And let's do this. So this was Monday. Okay, why could be buyers on a Monday? Because the market came down, right? Now Wednesday is today, and it's a swing day. Okay, because the market was down, Monday we could buy. And then I did say if you're going to buy, you can buy, but be careful for this blue line. Remember. So that's Monday there. Sorry, it's Monday there. That's your Tuesday, and that's your Wednesday now. Okay. So it's still a little tricky. Why? Because we're still expecting the market to dip down and close this place. But this might come later on. Okay. So let's still go ahead with what we're doing. So if we go back up again into here, we've got 3,044 on the price. 3,053 on the price. So this zone, these two levels, are going to be sell-off levels for us, and they're both logical. So if the market does come up here, okay, market can sell off. If it comes down first, buying is a better option. If it goes up first, selling will be a better option. Why? Because you got a gap there, okay, you see the market pushing up. So sooner or later we'll want to come and kind of like close it up. So if we go up, that's the resistance, that's the resistance, that's the resistance. At a trading hour, if we're like on this, or on this level, then selling would be okay. All right, because this is where they sold off before, but they couldn't make a lower low. Okay, they sold off before, and they just broke this one, which wasn't really a breakout because we didn't make any lower lows. Okay, so we're in this range, and this is going to be a dangerous zone. Okay, because we're chop mode here. So the only time you can trade is if we back down, like here, right? If we're back down into a trading hour and the spot where they bought before. On the daily, let's see if that is the level. 65. It's 3,020. 3,020 is there anyway. Okay, but it should dip lower because of the gap here if it's going to come down. Okay, right here. That's Wednesday. So if we go up first, we'll prefer to sell. If we go down first, we'll prefer to buy on this Wednesday. Okay, and because Monday was a swing day, we could be going into Wednesday. Now, the strong hours for today, let me highlight them. Like I said, this 8:40.55 was here, and that's fine. And it's the same level where they bought before. So yes, 12 o'clock is fine. 5 minutes past 12. Okay, so this 5 minutes past 12 is also not a bad spot. Okay, now after this, going into 115 to 150, I'm expecting disruption in the market. That could either be a breakout or a sudden dip back or whatever, but it should end by 150. Okay, and then you'll have to look out for 3 o'clock and 425 to 455. If the market keeps pushing, okay, if it doesn't turn, right, but keeps going in a certain direction after 3 and this 420.55 zone, then it should go to a target, okay, which should be pretty much closing. All right. So if you like kind of like, because we don't know where the market's going to be then, okay, but if I understand we're at a low and we are turning around, or we might turn, or it's a good level to buy, then I can buy it and then it should keep going. Okay, so this 1205 to 1220 is an interesting area for us. From there, a push in the market should come towards 150. Okay, it should be like into 150, and then when New York opens up, well, pre-trading opens up at 3. So 3 o'clock is a place where you want to look out for, because then that could just continue with that rhythm going into 425, 455. And if it keeps going, it should go towards 11 o'clock. If somewhere along the line the market turns around, then still know that if it turns, it will probably go to that 11:45 target zone. Okay, so understanding that is important. Let's take a look at euro dollar. Now euro dollar is, here we are, nice and easy. All right, Monday, remember I said it could be a flow week for the euro dollar. Okay, which means it could like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know, because it's a flow week. But this is beautiful. It's just, you can see how timing and swing days are just so beautifully working. You got 4 days in a row, and the market is just like, you know, in this beautiful flow. Okay, coming into this zone. Okay, so that's like really nice to see. And yesterday, okay, so this was the sell zone, market selling in again. I always do say don't, you know, sell at the low. So whenever you're going to sell, here as well on Monday, right? I didn't have an hour there, but technically this was a sell zone. Okay, so market comes up, they just sold off all the way into the trading hours. So this is why it's important not to sell at the lows, especially if you've got trading hours. Look, these are lows and you've got trading hours, market just bounces off. Trading hours, or pretty close to the trading hours, at the lows, market bounce off. So you want to sell high and kind of like buy low. So with this today as well, having said that, we can just, I don't know, we don't want to muck around with it too much. But we've got pushy hours after New York all the way into closing. All right. So you have to be like mindful with this one. Why? Because it has a gap that needs to be closed up on the daily, right? And the market, as we go into the closing hours, you know, it can get tricky and be pushy. And if it does get pushy, then what we will see is, you know, maybe a breakdown. Okay, maybe a breakdown, and that's logical to see, because it shouldn't, you know, this shouldn't be a this should break, basically what I'm saying. Okay, this should break. This is not a strong position to be in. Okay, so that should break, and we should close some gap. So just be mindful. If it doesn't until Thursday, okay, including Thursday, then, you know, obviously this is a zone where the market will want to pick up. But like I say, without really breaking down in closing, we have to be really careful here when we're buying. Okay, if, like I said, on Wednesday, this is Wednesday, on Thursday the market turns around and starts to push up, and you want to get in there from the lows, do it with a grain of salt. Okay, so just be cautious about it. Okay, so for example, this should break. They should stop sweep this. Okay, this should be stop swept if it's going to go up. If it breaks down and you see it's hanging around here, you got room to come down. Okay, remember, we got room to come down here. Okay, so if we go up into a trading hour and you want to sell again, you'll be following the trend, no problem. Okay, SP 500, let's do it. Now SP 500 said we should come into this zone. Now this, the day before, it never came back down. But remember, that was a swing day. Now, with the SP 500, we've got a few days, so it's a bit of a drama. But with NASDAQ and Dow Jones and SP 500, we've got a Wednesday swing day in common. Okay, and this is nice to see. So if we're on the edges here, which we are, as you can see, and we come to a trading hour and you want to sell it down, I think it's okay to do so. Okay, now here we might, on the weekly we've got a bit of room here, but on the daily SP 500 here, this is like a good zone where the market broke down before. So this is like a legitimate zone where you can sell off, including that 37.5, or touching this blue bar here. Okay, you see the blue zone. This is the whole thing here is a blue bar. All right. However, though, we can kind of like take the low off that bar, I guess, and the 37.5, because I like 37.5. Okay, so this zone is kind of like okay for us to time into a sell. Okay, and like I said, that could be the situation. And once the market, I did say this is setting up for a sell yesterday as well in the video. If this thing is just going sideways, sideways, sideways like this, it could be setting up for a sell. What you have to, how are you going to confirm that? Are you going to confirm it if we have a sharp breakdown on on the downside? If you want to sell the highs, you can sell the highs. Okay, at the trading hours, obviously. On the daily, is there a price? This LCL1 is 5820. So you could put that up there and see if this occurs. Okay, it's a bit out there. I wouldn't expect it to go too far out, but it is a PST level, and I rather put it up here rather than philosophize about what it might do. Okay, so that's that. And on the weekly, yeah, that's just too far out for us. It's going to be 5,907. And then we've got good buy kiss here around 5,836, which is the low of that. Okay, so what I will do is put I did 5820 and the 36 up here. Okay, if the market does something crazy and come up here, it's going to be a sell zone. Okay, for us at trading hours. If it is moving here like a snail, okay, like a worm or a snake, okay, then there are two things you can do. You can sell the highs. If it breaks down, any pullback in the short time frame is good to sell back down. Where can you sell back down to? You can sell it all the way back down into the weekly pivot and possibly down here again. Okay, because this is like setting up for a sell in my opinion. And Wednesday's a swing day, so this 5,807 as well, this zone 5,807 zone in there is like okay to dip it down. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ and Bitcoin. Same kind of thing here. What we're basically seeing is the market retracing. Let's get into Dow Jones first. And here we are. Let's first take, again, a look at the daily here. All right, so this was a zone we said we'd tap into nice and easy. Okay, this is where the breakout happened. That's the actual blue bar, okay? But sometimes I'm conservative in taking, something around if it's slightly higher as well. So maybe it'll tap into both. But this is a good buy kiss zone. This is a nice setup for us. It's a swing day, so selling at the highs. Then obviously when it pushes down, 43 is going to be a target there, which is 42,038 and 42,004. 42,004. 42,038 is pretty close anyway. It's like pretty much there. Okay, so this zone is going to be a target zone, which is logical since that's the gap closure there. Now I wouldn't be buying if it flops down, okay, because we're in a downwards trend, remember. Okay, so the market coming down here, possible, going down, up, down kind of thing, and we should break lower than the low it did here. Okay, so on this as well, if you can resonate with it, let's do this. So we had a Monday up day, okay, and then we had a Friday, not Friday, what am I talking about, Wednesday, right? So because we're up, Wednesday should be a sell day. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, and we are at a good spot. So at trading hours, you want to take a look into that zone and you want to trade accordingly. And if the market does kind of fall down, which it should come down at least into this blue line here to close the gap, and that's the zone I talked about there. Okay, if you want to wait for a breakout, then obviously you got to wait for the breakout for this here. This is going to break out, then there'll be a pullback, and then you can sell off. But that pullback, if it breaks down quickly, it'll be like a boom, 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 and then boom. Okay, so it won't be like a quickie. So it might not make a good retracement. That's what I'm saying. If it breaks down fast, in a short amount of time, it'll start to push down. Okay. Now with NASDAQ, it's today and also tomorrow. Same thing is occurring on SP 500, so we have to be like kind of careful. Now this is good because we came into that. I can now get rid of this. This is now over for us. It's irrelevant, okay? And we are at the 37.5 zone, okay? If I make this a little bigger, all right, we are tapped into the blue bar here, okay? And this is still kind of your resistance here, okay? Right, so does this have room to go up? Well, it might do, but this is like looking like, we'd like to sell somewhere around here, and this zone is kind of okay. So if you are looking to sell, not a bad idea, I'd say, to do so. Okay, now this is the weekly. This is, as you can see, like all the way up there. So if you think about it, on the weekly it might go further and further, but because we're day trading, we're going to have to be cautious with NASDAQ since we've got Wednesday, Thursday, right? So this is going to be a Wednesday there. So we want to be selling that because we're up. If we still stay up Thursday, we also want to sell. If this day doesn't work and it keeps pushing up, we might have a Wednesday, Thursday thing. Or what might happen is we might have a Wednesday dip and then Thursday again. If the market's up here, we'll want to sell again. Okay, so this will be like a sell zone for us. Okay, and that's basically it. Okay, going into there. So then you want to look out for targeting to 20,034. That's one target. If you come to your 15-minute, you can target also the weekly pivot and this zone here. Okay, so this is going to be a why, because that's, remember, is where the gaps are, okay, on the weekly, on here, and so on. And that's basically it. So if we hang around here, the highs are legitimate to sell off. let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, as you know, we had Tuesday for a swing day. Today is Wednesday. And if we take a look, I didn't check what happened with Bitcoin yesterday. Okay. Here we are. All right, so Tuesday, so you can see that your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? So Tuesday, the market actually fell down. And I did say this zone is your sell zone, okay? So you see how important it is to get those swing days so you can really cover yourself. It's just like magic, really. Now, here we are. What to do with this? So if the market, because it closed that gap, wants to come down, it should come down at least to the high of that, okay? But I'm thinking we should probably go lower, okay? Now that level 59 is going to be for your price of 88,564. Okay, so 88, 564 is here, which is pretty much done. Okay, which is pretty much done, as you can see. Okay, so selling the highs again is okay. You can follow it into there, okay, and that's how it should pan out. All right, but this is like, you know, nice. It's looking good for a sell setup on the high edges at trading hours. You can sell, and then the next swing day for this is later on, as you can see. So it's going to be like on the weekend. So if we flow through, okay, if we flow through, this should still have room to kind of like, you know, sell off here. On the bigger time frame, we have a breakout, so you have to be careful on this one. Okay, why? Because I do say don't go against the PST breakout, okay? And this is a breakout. So if you want to short it from those levels, maybe you want to use a smaller lot size, or wait for, on the small time frame, wait for a breakout, pull back, and then enter at a trading hour, okay? Otherwise, it's like when a PST breaks out, it's a little tricky, and you know, I don't like to be in front of that, okay? So be mindful on that. All right, and that's basically it. So it's going to be a little tricky on Bitcoin because we've got that PST breakout. However, though, if you do want to take it to sell the high on a swing day, do it with caution. And then you got this blue line here, which is your LCL one, which is 85,662. 85,662 is just around here. Okay, pretty much there. All right, hope that helps.